Welcome to today's deep dive. So, have you ever tried to break a bad habit using, sheer willpower alone?
Oh, yeah. Like when you just clench your jaw and swear, that this time will be different.
Right. Exactly. And then you fall short right at the finish line. I mean, it's basically like trying to hold your breath underwater. You can force it for a while.
But eventually biology wins. You just have to gasp for air.
Right. You have to. No, so our mission today is diving into a specific reflection dated August 14th, 2026, looking at this ancient text, Ezekiel 39, verses 21 through 29.
Yeah, and it really hits on that exact tension. The difference between forcing an outward change and experiencing an actual, inward shift.
Because willpower is totally finite.
Yeah.
So let's look at the crisis in this text. It's a devastating period for ancient Israel. And there's this jarring phrase about God, quote, hiding his face from them.
Oh, right, the hidden face.
Yeah. And I got to ask, is this like a parent giving a misbehaving kid the silent treatment? Because that feels like a contradiction of, unconditional love.
It does sound like that, but no, it's not some petty silent treatment. Ancient Israel was under a covenant.
Okay, like a treaty?
Exactly. A strict, legally binding security treaty. So when they broke the terms, that divine protection was just withdrawn. God basically stepped back and handed them over to the natural consequences of their actions.
Which meant exile and, falling by the sword.
Right. And the fascinating part is the surrounding nations, like Babylon, they watched this and just assumed Israel's God was weaker than their gods.
Oh, wow. Like a cosmic turf war.
Yeah, exactly. But the irony is it wasn't weakness at all. It was a deliberate, calculated judgment for their unfaithfulness. The treaty was intentionally voided from the inside.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting to me. I want to push back a bit on this.
Sure, go for it.
If the penalty for voiding the treaty was losing their home and going into exile, and they served their time, why wouldn't returning from exile just be the happy ending? Why not just wipe the slate clean, rebuild the walls, and hit reset?
Yeah, I mean, logically that makes sense, right? But merely bringing them back is only an external restoration.
Just moving them geographically.
Right. If their underlying nature, their hearts, didn't actually change, their disobedience would just repeat. The willpower would fail again.
Oh, I see. It's like moving into a pristine, brand new house, but bringing all your terrible financial habits with you.
Exactly. You're going to end up bankrupt again, just in a much nicer living room.
Wow. Yeah, that makes sense.
And that is exactly why verse 29 is such a profound turning point. God promises to pour out his Spirit to create an inward transformation. To ensure the treaty is never broken again, the change has to happen from the inside out.
So this ancient shift from external rules to internal transformation, the reflection applies this directly to your life today.
Yeah, it really does.
Right. It frames it through the lens of Jesus and the Holy Spirit. It uses phrases like believers becoming God's children and their bodies becoming temples.
Yeah, and stripping away the religious jargon for a second, So what's here is how this functions practically. It shifts the burden of change.
Okay, how so?
Well, instead of you operating as this independent contractor, furiously reading a rule book and using your finite willpower to avoid messing up, you receive an abiding presence.
No more white-knuckling your way through life.
Exactly. The psychological mechanism fundamentally changes. You aren't forcing yourself to act against your desires anymore because the presence of the Spirit actually begins to change what you desire in the first place.
So instead of holding your breath underwater, you're slowly growing gills. The underlying nature is changing.
Right. So you're going from that devastating loss of protection, the hidden face, to a permanent internal presence that fixes the root cause.
Which brings us to the Source Note's final provocative thought for you to mull over today. We've talked extensively about how this internal change affects your habits.
But consider the people around you, too.
Right. The ones exhausted from running on their own empty tanks of willpower. If they see you navigating a massive crisis without clenching your jaw or forcing a fake smile, operating from a place of genuine, unforced peace, could your internal transformation be the exact catalyst they need to finally stop fighting their own losing battle?